what's up everyone, it's your girl Brain Shanae, and today I'm here to share with you my January TBR. Now this TBR, is it ambitious? Of course. Do I care necessarily? Absolutely not. I'm really excited to get into all these, like, what I anticipate as amazing reads. Hopefully I enjoy them. There are some that there's read-alongs that I would definitely want to be a part of and join. There's manga that I definitely need to finish, or at least a series that I need to finish and complete because it's been a couple of years. And then there are a lot of new releases. Now, mind you, this year, if y'all didn't know, one of the main goals for this year is to utilize my library as much as possible. Will there be books that I physically want and want and have? Of course, there's going to be some books that I will personally buy because I want it to be part of my collection, but I want to utilize my library as much as possible, just to save money. You know, it's that time where, like, I've been part of Booktube I think for like 6 years. It's about to be 7 years, and I've noticed like my spending has been just crazy, and you know, that's consumerism for you, right? That's capitalism in the US, right? And so it's like I have other goals, I have other plans that I want to do and utilize my money for, you know. So I definitely want to utilize my library and support my local library, because supporting your local library is very important, y'all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with what I'll be reading in January. So when I told you or mentioned to y'all about the series that I want to finish regarding manga, I had read Monster with a group of fantastic people like a couple of years ago, and I just stopped reading them. I stopped at volume 6, and so I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and read these last 3 and finish this series, right? And so the series I'm talking about is Monster. This is by Naoki Urasawa, and so I have volumes 7 through 9. These are, of course, from my library, and then I'm like, I need to read these. Now, are these chunkers? Oh yes, they are chunky, but I did not mind it. I know Elise's, Tia, a few of my friends mentioned to me, like, they finished them, and they mentioned me, so technically I'm not missing out on anything, but still, I want to finish this series, y'all. I really do. I even remember on the back of my head of how the volume 6 ended, so I'm like, I gotta finish this. So this is Monster Volume 7, this is Monster Volume 8, and this is Volume 9. These are, I'm roughly say around 300 pages, so they're pretty long, but I will get to them. They're fast reads, I feel, in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to finally finish this series out, because I've been wanting to finish it for a while now. So there are those. These next few books are also going to be from the library. This is a new release. This is Isaac's Song. This is by Daniel Black. I really enjoyed the first book by him that I've read by him, which is called Don't Cry for Me. And so I'm really looking forward to this one, and I'm excited. I love Daniel Black. I love the writing. It's fantastic. I'll even read the synopsis for this one. So it says, the beloved author of Don't Cry for Me and Perfect Peace returns with the poignant and emotionally exuberant novel about a young queer Black man finding his voice in 1980s Chicago. It says, Isaac is at a crossroads in his young life. Growing up in Missouri, the son of a caustic, hard-driving father, he was conditioned to suppress his artistic pursuits and physical desires. But now, in late 80s Chicago, Isaac has finally carved out a life of his own and built up the courage to seek out a community. Yet, just as he begins to embrace who he is, 2 social catalysts, the AIDS crisis and Rodney King's attack, collectively extinguish his hard-earned joy. At a therapist's encouragement, Isaac begins to write down his story. As he taps into his creative energy, he commences a journey back to his family, his ancestral home in Arkansas, and the inherited trauma of the past. But a surprise discovery will either unlock the truths he's seeking or threaten to derail the life he's fought so hard to claim. It says, poignant, sweeping, and luminously told, Isaac's Song is a return to the beloved characters of Don't Cry for Me, and a high watermark in the career of an award-winning author. So yes, I'm really looking forward to reading this. Like I said, Daniel Black's writing is absolutely amazing. He does a fantastic job when it comes to his storytelling and what he's trying to convey and what he's trying to come across within his books. So I'm really excited to read this. This is something that I was thinking about that I want physically, but necessarily I don't need to have it as my collection, but I definitely need to read it. So yeah, this is one I'm really excited to get into. The next one, I wanted to read this. I've seen somebody post this on Instagram a few days ago, and then I like the cover, so I'm like, why not? So this is by Ebony Elizabeth Thomas. It says Race and the Imagination from Harry Potter to the Hunger Games. It's called The Dark Fantastic. I read a little bit about this and I'm like, okay, this sounds interesting. So I definitely want to give it a try. This one, it says, stories provide portals into other worlds, both real and imagined. The promise of escape draws people from all backgrounds to speculative fiction, but when people of color seek passageways into the fantastic, the doors are often barred. This problem lies not only with children's publishing, but also with the television and film executives tasked with adapting these stories into a visual world. When characters of color do appear, they are often marginalized or subjected to violence, reinforcing for audiences that not all lives matter. It says, The Dark Fantastic is an engaging and provocative exploration of race in popular youth and young adult speculative fiction. Grounded in her experiences as YA novelist, fan fiction writer, and scholar of education, Ebony Elizabeth Thomas considers four Black girl protagonists from some of the most popular stories of the early 21st century. Bonnie Bennett from the CW's The Vampire Diaries. Okay. Rue from Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games. That was another controversial one. Gwen from BBC's Merlin, and Angelina Johnson from J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. Analyzing their narratives and audience reactions to them reveals how these characters mirror the violence against Black and brown people in our world. And then it goes on to say, in response, Thomas uncovers and builds upon a tradition of fantasy and radical imagination and Black feminism and Afrofuturism to reveal new possibilities. Through fan fiction and other modes of counter storytelling, young people of color have re-envisioned fantastic worlds that reflect their own experiences, their own lives. As Thomas powerfully asserts, we dark girls deserve more because we are more. So need I say less on why I wanted to read this? Like, this speaks a lot of volume. So I'm really excited to get into this. It had a lot of great examples as to what this book pertains. So really excited to get into this one. But here it is, The Dark Fantastic. Another one that I got from my library. Another one from my library, which is also another new release, and that is called Reclaiming the Black Body, Nourishing the Home Within. This is by Alicia McLeod. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. If not, I do apologize. And I really love this cover so freaking much. For this one, it says, an essential exploration of the overlooked impact of disordered eating among Black women and a prescriptive roadmap to returning to wholeness within our bodies. It says, licensed mental health therapist, somatic healer, and eating disorder specialist Alicia McLeod. I'm sorry. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. If not, I do once again apologize. Understands that for far too many Black women, racial trauma's systemic impact has disrupted their most essential relationship, the one they have with their bodies and by extension with their food. African Americans are disproportionately impacted by disordered eating behaviors, yet their experiences are frequently neglected by doctors and mental health experts. As a result, our most vulnerable communities are forced to navigate systems primed to dismiss their needs, leaving them without proper care or often even the language they need to identify what's wrong. It says, Alicia's groundbreaking work radically validates the lived experiences and generational traumas of BIPOC communities. As part of a steadily growing movement among clinicians to decolonize therapy, her deeply informing approach seeks to understand disordered eating patterns by examining the psychological wounds left by centuries of racism. Weaving together crucial history, compelling client stories, guided meditation, journal prompts, and Alicia's own journey with disordered eating behaviors, Reclaiming the Black Body offers readers a safe space to feel seen and a powerful pathway to healing. This revealing potentially life-saving book illuminates the way home, back to the safety and comfort found within our bodies. So I was really excited to hear about this book and that it was releasing this year. This is one of my anticipated reads of 2025. So I'm really excited to get into this. And once again, I really love this freaking cover. So this is another one that I'm really looking forward to reading. The next one, another anticipated read. It's also on my list, 25 for 25. And I love me some Zora. So I was really excited to see that this book was going to be released. And that is The Life of Herod the Great by Zora Hurston. This is a retelling from this perspective of Zora Hurston, where we're getting a different perspective of not seeing Herod as an evil ruler, but as a ruler that people loved and adored and cherished, and we're just welcome to hear his thoughts and his ideas and whatnot. So really excited to get into this. Also has a lot of history in it. It's going to be bringing up Palestine, Judea. It's going to be bringing up Egypt, Rome, Greece. It's going to be mentioning a lot of things. It's going to mention Cleopatra and Antony, which it's very interesting how, like, in the Bible, Cleopatra's name is not said in there. Neither is Antony's either. And Cleopatra was one, like, a major role, especially during time of King Herod. Like, everything was, let's put it this way, it's like this was real shit. But just imagine the Game of Thrones. Like, that's how it was. It was like political stunts and political games in order to gain power and whatnot, right? So I'm really excited to get into this. I love me some Zora Hurston. I'm glad, like, this was released into the world. This was something where it was recovered because it had some burns to it, and they saved it and they restored some of it. There were some words that they couldn't really depict or restore, but they restored majority of it. So I'm really happy that they did that and restore this another unpublished work by Zora Hurston. So really excited to get into this. Next one, this is going to be for a read along. This is by Deshauna. I'll leave the video of a read along up above so you can check it out. This is Michael J. Sullivan's read along, and I'm really looking forward to this. I didn't really know anything about Michael J. Sullivan. Also, Bree Cherie Reads brought this to my attention regarding the read along as well. So thank you so much, Bree. And so I'm really excited to get into this one, and that is Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. It says Book 1 of the Legends of the First Empire. So once again, from my library, really excited to get into this. It says Michael J. Sullivan's trailblazing career began with the breakout success of his Ruria series, full-bodied, spellbinding fantasy adventures whose imaginative scope and sympathetic characters won a devoted readership in comparison to fantasy masters Brandon Sanderson, Scott Lynch, and J.R. Tolkien himself. Now, Sullivan's stunning hardcover debut, Age of Myth, inaugurates an original 5-book series, and one of fantasy's finest next-generation storytellers continue to break new ground. And it says, since time immemorial, humans have worshipped the gods they called Frey, truly a race apart, invincible in battle, masters of magic, and seemingly immortal. But when a god falls to a human blade, the balance of power between humans and those they thought were gods changes forever. Now only a few stand between humankind and annihilation. Wraith, reluctant to embrace his destiny as the god killer. Suri, a young seer burdened by signs of impending doom. And Persephone, who must overcome personal tragedy to lead her people. The Age of Myth is over. The time of rebellion has begun. So, another one that I'm really excited to get into, and I'm excited. I'm excited. Anything with fantasy books and it's adult fantasy, I'm here for it. So, really excited for that one. Another one also from my library. Looking forward to this. This is a nonfiction right here, and I'm really excited to get into this. And that is An Open Contempt. This says Confronting White Supremacy and Art in Public Space by Erwin Weathersby Jr. So freaking good. It says, amid the ongoing reckoning over America's history of anti-Black racism, scores of monuments to enslavers and Confederate soldiers still proudly dot the country's landscape, while schools and street signs continue to bear the names of segregationists. With pungent lyrical prose, cultural commentator Erwin Weathersby Jr. confronts the inescapable specter of white supremacy in our open spaces and contemplates what it means to bear witness to sites of lasting racial trauma. So another great one that I'm really looking forward to reading. I feel like this is going to be a fast read. It's not that long. It's about like only 230 pages. So really looking forward to this. I've heard nothing but great things about it, and I've seen it all over social media. So looking forward to this one. Next one is also going to be a nonfiction book. This one is a chunker, you guys, a chunker. I think the total amount of pages is going to at least be 500 pages long. But I'm really excited to get into this one, and that is The First and Last King of Haiti, The Rise and Fall of Henry Kristoff by Marlene L. Dodds. It is a chunker, but it's fine. It's fine. Really looking forward to reading this one. I've seen this circulating as well. It says the essential biography of one of the most richly complex figures in the history of the Americas. In The First and Last King of Haiti, a brilliant award-winning Yale scholar unravels the still controversial enigma that he was. So it says slave, revolutionary, traitor, king, and suicide. Henry Kristoff was in his time popular and famous the world over. Born in 1767 to an enslaved mother on the Caribbean island of Grenada, Kristoff first fought to overthrow the British in North America before helping his fellow enslaved Africans in Saint Domingue, as Haiti was then called, to gain their freedom from France. Yet in an incredible twist of fate, Kristoff ended up fighting with Napoleon's forces against the very enslaved men and women he had once fought alongside. Later reuniting with those he had betrayed, he offered to lead them and made himself their king. But it all came to a sudden and tragic end when Kristoff, after 9 years of his rule as King Henry I, shot himself in the heart, some say with a silver bullet. And then it goes on to say, why did Kristoff turn his back on Toussaint Louverture and the very revolution with which his name is so inevitably associated? How did it come to pass that Kristoff found himself accused of participating in the plot to assassinate Haiti's first ruler, Jean-Jacques Dessalines? What caused Haiti to eventually split into two countries, one ruled by Kristoff in the north, who made himself king, and the other led by President Alexander Pétion in the south? It says The First and Last King of Haiti is a riveting story not only of geopolitical clashes on a grand scale, but also of friendship and loyalty, treachery and betrayal, and heroism and strife in an era of revolutionary upheaval. So, looking forward to this. Cannot wait. Sounds good. And I'm definitely getting into my history bag this year, like especially when it comes to nonfiction. Definitely got to read some more nonfiction this year. So there is that. Next one is also another read along that Gabby by that's also Gabby from the Curious Owl, excuse me, having a tongue twister. She is doing a read along for Robin Hobb. So the first book is so we have the novella, which I'll leave it up here. So here's the novella that we're going to be reading, and also we have the Assassin's Apprentice as well. So she's doing a read along for Robin Hobb this year. So really looking forward to it. I'm really excited. This is the first book that I'm going to be reading by Robin Hobb, and I've heard nothing but great things about Robin Hobb, so why not? So here's another one. Next one that I'm really looking forward to getting into, it's going to be a Mansu Rising. This is by Thea Guazin. This is the second book. This is a series. I think it's a duology. No, I think it's a trilogy. So there's going to, I think there's going to at least be one more book. The first book was Hurricane Wars, which is right here. Let me grab that, which I really enjoyed. So I'm really excited to get into this one. Hurricane Wars, I think it was a great book. Anything with fantasy and a dash of romance, just a dash, I'm going to enjoy. So I have a feeling that I'm going to enjoy this too. But this one, cannot wait to read. The next book that I'm excited to read as well, and I'll be doing a live discussion for my patrons on my Patreon, and that is The Gods Below. This is by Andrea Stewart. Been meaning to get to this book since last month, but I'm here now, so I gotta read it. I'm really looking forward to this one as well. I loved Andrea Stewart's The Drowning Empire series. Love that so much. It was really freaking good. I mean, there were still some questions I have regarding the series and certain things that took place within the series itself, but there's some things that just it's going to be unknown, right? But I'm really looking forward to this one, and I love Andrea Stewart's writing, so I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy this. Now, the next book that I'm really looking forward to reading, this is my book club pick for my patrons. discussions for on my Patreon, and that is Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I love anything by Nnedi Okorafor. Her writing is absolutely stunning and amazing and fantastic and phenomenal. There's just so many things I could say about her writing. And so I'm really excited to get into this. We will be discussing this book. We'll have a live discussion on my Patreon in the following month in February. I always give everybody a heads up. So literally, if you decided to read it a week prior to the live discussion, you do that. So you have a lot of flexibility on when you want to read it. Just read it prior to the live discussion and you'll be good. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. I'm just excited. And the cover is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And then last but not least, I am reading Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. This is going to be, I'll be having a live discussion in January for this one, because we were, technically that was my book club pick for December. So it's January. So I'm like, okay, let me read this a week prior to the live discussion though. So that's what's taking place. But I'm really looking forward to having a live discussion with my patrons. It's going to be a fun time. But that is it. Those are all the books that I plan on reading in January. I hope that I can get through every single one of them. I have a feeling that I can. It's just going to take some time. I know with Brandon Sanderson, I know it's going to take me some time to get through his book, but I'm ready and I am prepared. But I'm excited. I'm really excited to just talk about books with everybody and my friends and, just have a great time. But that is it. That is my January TBR. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, please, please give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But once again, thank you all so much for, so much for watching. I hope you all are staying healthy and staying safe, and I will catch y'all next time. Bye, everyone.